Okay, so welcome to Math 20 Fall 2020, College Algebra. I'm excited to be here and to teach you this subject. Algebra is one of my favorite subjects, and a lot of the subjects, especially calculus, really is algebra heavy. And if you don't know your algebra, then you're going to really struggle. So this is a class that you probably are going on in your mathematics. So you really want to get down this material. Half of this class is probably stuff that you've seen before, and we're just going to get in and kind of delve deeper into the problems, maybe a little more difficult than you've seen. But then there's some areas that you might not have seen before, looking at finding zeros or x-intercepts of equations or functions that are higher than degree 2 or 3. And using tricks like that. We'll be graphing ellipses, hyperbolas, what else? And a lot of other fun stuff. So I just kind of want to walk you through the syllabus. I had posted the syllabus for you. I'm going to share my screen. And so most of you are here in class, so you already know how to get in class. Okay, so I'm sharing my screen, and unfortunately when I do that, so this is where actually you had come to class. You had come into your Canvas course page, you clicked on the left-hand column that confers Zoom, and you got in here. It looks similar like this, but not the host, and you clicked into the class. This is also the place that you'll come to get video recordings if you had missed class and you want to look at the recording or you just want to go back over it. Up here in this horizontal bar, you see the event recordings. You just click on that. Sometimes it takes about an hour for those to upload from Confer Zoom after the end of class. So then they should be there. Sometimes it takes a little longer. And then last summer, I found that some of them, I got emails that they were ready, but actually never linked up totally in here. So if for some reason you're looking for the video and it says, you know, it hasn't come up yet, and you'll see the date and everything, just email me and I will see if it's in my email and I can email you the link. Okay, so this is the main Canvas page for you. Actually, no, it's not. Here it is. And I'm going to be cleaning this up a little bit. I'll get rid of the welcome letter and stuff. But right now, actually, I didn't finish your page last night. I thought I did. Let me get into this for you. I'll have this up today after class. Sorry about that. Let's see. What a page is. Okay, so your view is going to be a little different than my view. Sorry about that. You have a place that will have weekly information on the home page, and under there I'll start listing the weeks. And so for week 1, you would click on that and it would bring you to this page. So there's a couple things that you want to be doing for the next couple of days. Those are due on Canvas. So you have a syllabus assignment. And this will bring you into the syllabus. I'll also have another link straight to the syllabus. And let me open that up. And so for this assignment, what you want to do, and we're going to be reading through this, so a lot of it you already will know, and if you have questions, you can ask now, but you're going to read through it and you're going to initial. You'll see a line here, or initial if you understand and agree that what is being said, or put a star here if you're not understanding exactly what I'm meaning and you have some questions and you need clarification. So you're going to go through, you're going to print this out, you're going to go through, you're going to initial all those spots, and we'll come back and talk about it in a second. And then you're going to upload it as a single PDF into this Canvas page, into that assignment. So there will be a link in here for you to upload it. So part of the assignment is to be able to get it as a single PDF, not like multiple PDFs or not pictures. The reason I'm doing that is it just makes my life a lot easier when I'm going to grade. Last semester when I didn't do that, I had students giving me all different formats of files, and some of them were zip files, and it just was a mess. So this summer, all my students were able to upload as a single PDF. And there's a lot of free apps out there. And if you want to, some people can put in the chat if they know of some that are good. Go back to the syllabus. Got a lot of stuff up here. Sorry. Let it go. There it is. Okay, so email. Actually, I probably should have introduced myself. My name's Erica Knopfsinger. I'll be your instructor this summer, or not summers. Where are we in? Fall? I wish I was still in summer. For email, that's probably the best way to get a hold of me, besides being in class and asking me questions, or staying after class in office hours and asking me questions. But the best way to get a hold of me is through email. And you want to email me at enopson, which is not my whole last name, at yccd.edu. You want to make sure that you're emailing your instructors with your college email address. So there's some FERPA laws or laws to protect students, and that's one of them, that we're supposed to be only corresponding to students through their college email address. So if for some reason you forget that, I might not respond to you, or I might just say, hey, I need you to email me, copy paste this, email me from your college email address. Class times, you guys are here, great. Tuesday, Thursday, 8 a.m. to 9:50. I know that I'm teaching kind of online remotely, but I find that I want this to be more like that we are in class and feel more like a classroom environment, hopefully. And I'll try to do that as much as possible. What I love about teaching is getting to know my students and being together. And I found that talking to students who took my summer school courses, they really appreciated, the ones that made it through the semester, really appreciated being online together during a set time. My physical office is a Zoom right now in the basement of my in-laws, kind of an extra throw-all exercise, extra TV room, storage room. Later we'll be moving into my bedroom, which is kind of weird, to do class and office. I do want you to know where my office is, because eventually we will be back together on campus, hopefully next semester. And I'd love it to have students to come by and say hi, or, you know, you're taking another class from me, you need help, or whatever. So 848D, come and see me. My office number, that's not going to work this semester. I don't have access to it. I'm not going to check it. Office hours. So I'm doing a little things differently this semester, where I'm linking most of my office hours up to my classes during either before or after, depending on the course, of their class time. And so your class, I'm available right after class on Tuesday and Thursday from 9:50 to 10:20. And so I'm just going to stay on after class, ask you guys if you have any questions. If you want, you can try to log into MyMathLab and do some homework, and I can stay around and answer questions. If everybody ends up leaving though, then I'm gonna take off for the day. There's one time period, and I need to go back and change this, but I'm willing to say this whole time, that I'm open to all 4 of my classes that I'm teaching this semester. They happen to be all 4 different preps, but I will be available on Thursday from 2 to 3, and I'll have a link on your Canvas webpage to that office hour. So again, I don't want to just go and stay in a Zoom session if no students are using that time. And so if you're not there, if no one's there after 2:10, then I'm going to take off. But if you know that you want to come in and see me, but you can't be there by 2:10, just send me an email and let me know that you are coming, and I'll stay around and help you. I really want you guys to succeed, so I'm also here for you if these times don't work outside of those times. We just have to set up an appointment to do that. Okay, so for this class, all the things that I really require is MyMathLab, which is a homework program online. If you've had classes with me before, normally you got into that homework program from the web. Now you're just gonna be doing that through the Canvas page itself. And so instead, once you get into your Canvas and the home page, or here, you'll see all the links, and you'll see the MyLab and Mastering. And when you go to open this for the first time, it's going to ask you to sign up for it. So if you've already used MyMathLab before in the past, you can use the account that you've had. The thing is, you're still going to have to pay for the program. We just started this book this summer. I was trying to get us a book that was both trigonometry and college algebra in one book to save money for our students. And so if you are taking trigonometry, your instructor might be using this textbook this summer. And I believe you only have to pay for one of the codes. Maybe you're taking college algebra this semester, trigonometry next semester. When you're purchasing the code, they ask you how many weeks you want. And so there's a couple different options. If you need it, you're going to take it for 2 semesters, then use the longer option and pay a little bit more money. You do not need so you don't need the hard copy of the textbook. You can have it if you want. And when you're signing up, I think there's a place that will say, do you want to spend maybe $10, $15 more, I'm guessing, for a loose leaf version of the textbook, and we'll mail it to you. Okay, so let's say you've signed up for MyMathLab, so you're going to go in here and do that. It's pretty self-explanatory while you're in there. Oh, one other thing. When you're signing up for this program, there's a couple options. You can pay for it right away with a credit card. You can put in an access code, or if you scroll down a little bit, you'll see in little letters that, a 14-day grace period. So it's where you can get into the program, use that program for 2 weeks, and then pay for it within those 2 weeks. So sometimes if you're not sure if this is a class for you, you're shopping around the first couple of weeks, that's probably also a good thing to do. That way, if for some reason you decide not to take the class, then you haven't paid that money and aren't out that money. So once you get it in, you'll see assignments over here, and this is where you're going to go to your assignments to get to your homework. I was going to say. Okay, so whatever we cover in class 1 week is always due the following week. I'm somewhat guessing when we're going to be covering things and what I'm going to get through before the week is over. So sometimes that stuff changes. Notice here in the left-hand corner, you can see the due dates. Most of them say the last day of our class, but those are going to be coming open or not. They're all open now. You can get into them, but those dates are going to be changing to be sooner than later. You can always get in and do homework late. I don't want you to do that, but if you have to, you can still get in and do it late and get up to 80% of what you got correct. So basically it's knocking off 20% of what you are doing after the due date. Let me just open up the homework so you can kind of see how you maneuver and get around. And so let's just open up the problem. So the other thing, it might take me a second. So during class, I'm going to mute you guys, but you're welcome to unmute yourselves. If you have any questions, please pipe up and say something. And sometimes I don't see the chat, like I don't see it right now. I'm trying to see everybody. Okay, so this one's a drop down. So drop downs, you don't have as many choices or times to get something correct. Normally you have 3 chances to get a problem correct, and then it will mark it wrong. So for our equation ax plus b equals 0 is called a linear or quadratic. I bet one of you knows that. And you're all muted.
Linear.
Yay. Yay, Kiara. Hi. Welcome back. Equation. So second degree or first degree are linear's first or second degree equations. The degree of the exponents on your variable.
First.
Yeah, first degree. So we would do a final check. We put in our answers. Good job. I'm surprised it has all that information there. I'm going to skip because I don't want to do these types of. Okay, so pretty simple to start with. Basically, we're trying to solve for x. Isolate your variable, it's linear. We could subtract 12, divide by 4. So I know I get -3. But let's say I don't put in -3. It's going to tell you you're wrong. Sometimes you might need to look at it and it might tell you why it's wrong. Sometimes looking and reading through it, you might find out your answer is actually right. It's just not in the right form that MyMathLab wanted it. In the directions it said to write it as a fraction and you wrote it as a decimal instead. Okay, so third time, notice I had 3 attempts and it's wrong. It will come up with the correct answer. It will show me what I answered. It will have an X up in here showing me that it's wrong, but I can then change it and get this to be correct by going in and doing a similar example. So if I subtract 20, divide by 4, I get -5. And so doing it, feedback, fantastic, and this X is now gonna go to being correct. So technically, get your homework done on time. You can have 100% on all of your homeworks. Usually that's what a lot of times will help students do, first of all, better on exams, but also can carry them if you're not good at exams themselves.
My dad's messing with the, oh, okay, it's back on, sorry.
You can save it, or I could just get out of this. If I just leave, it's still here, what I've done. So once you come back, you'll see what you've already started and you can get in and continue working. So some students don't like, or maybe your internet's not well, or maybe you know you're going to be sitting at your somewhere and you have time to be doing math homework but don't have internet. You can always go to get into your assignment, one of the problems, and go to this question help. This question help, see the print. This will ask you, do you want to just print this problem or do you want to print the whole assignment? So if you want to just print off the whole assignment, you can do that. A lot of times there's enough space for you to show your work while on that printout. And then you'd have to come back in and answer your answers into the question, into MyMathLab. Just to be aware, you and your fellow classmates, they're almost alike, but they're different numbers. So you can't just have your friend print out the homework and then give it to you to do, because you'll have different problems when you get in to answer yours, and you wouldn't want to do that. When you're doing your homework, you're writing it up just like you would be writing up solutions out of a book. Make sure that it's not all, you know, scratch work all over the place, and that it's just kind of logically showing step-by-step process. Some of these things I know that you don't need, you know, to show work, like, is this a linear or quadratic equation, right? There's no work to show there. So I'm okay if you say 1 through 5, no work needed, and then just jump in and start working and showing how to do the problems. Other thing I love about this program, which could be really good for you or it can actually hurt you in the end, are the help features that are right here. This Help Me Solve It will help you solve this exact same problem that you're working on. It will walk you through step by step. It will have it interacted where you're putting in your information, and then you'll come back, it will give you a different problem. View an example will show you an example of a similar problem, but when you come back and after you read through it, you'll come back to the exact same question. If for some reason you want to go to a textbook, this is one of the ways you can get to your textbook, and it would bring you into the electronic which you have available in all that spot. Let me show you a couple other places to find some cool places just to practice and get extra help if you need it. You have other people explaining and lecturing on the same sections we're going over. So video resource and library. If you go in here, this is where you can access the textbook and some videos. And so you would just go into whatever section that you're going to be looking at and choose what type of feature you want to do. So here's the textbook. Oops. Okay, so scroll down lower, that's where everything is going to be. That's they have available for that section. So there's a couple of chats. Hold on. Okay, so you guys, is my mic cutting out? Sound okay?
It's good right now, but it was cutting out before.
Okay, yeah. Unfortunately, we might have problems like that through the semester, and sometimes it might be on my end, sometimes it might just be your internet. But let me know if that's the case, and sometimes I'll just stop the recording, and sometimes we'll take a break and come back, and it's better. But okay. So other places, I normally didn't direct students here, but I found that one of my students this summer said that this was really helpful for them in learning the material, is this study guide. So there's so many things in here, and I don't know a lot about everything because I haven't gone through and played with everything. I just use what I need to use. But the study guide, you can basically go into the section you want to go into, or maybe even review stuff. So if you go into all chapters, you can go into any of the chapters and you can start doing some practice problems. I think that it quizzes you and then it tells you, you know, what you've mastered and what you haven't mastered, so that you know what you need to work on. I think that's all I need to tell you about MyMathLab, unless there's any questions about it. before I close it down. Are there any questions about MyMathLab? Anything you want to see that I haven't shown you? Also, a couple other required materials is just a webcam. Some of you have yours on, and I love it because I get to see your faces. And you also have a computer. You need a computer or a laptop or a tablet or something so that you can come to class and you can do your homework, etc. If you don't have a computer, or you need a laptop, or you need a webcam, the Yuba College Library has those available. You want to try to go and get one right away or as soon as possible because they are limited. I heard that they're getting like 300 more either laptops or webcams, maybe both, but we don't know when they're going to be in. So attendance, I can tell that you're here. Zoom does attendance for me. It tells me who participated, when they came in, when they left, etc. So I'll be taking attendance from there. You're expected to come to class. That's part of the participation grade, is that you're in class and you're participating with other students, and when we're doing in-class exercises are there to do that. If for some reason we do an in-class exercise and you miss class, and it's something that you can make up, I'll let you make it up for partial credit. But there'll be times that we'll maybe be playing Kahoot, or you'll be in breakout rooms working together on something, and that won't be able to be made up. Drop dates, these are just important dates for you to be familiar with. August 28th is the last day for you to drop the course. If you decide this is not the course for you, hopefully you know by then, because then you get a free refund. Nothing shows up on the transcript. If you decide after August 28th, but by September 4th that you don't want to stay in class, you can drop the class. Nothing shows up on the transcript, but you've paid for the course. And then November 13th is the last day to withdraw from the class. So if you withdraw from the class, a W shows up on your transcripts. And normally schools understand if you're transferring to a school, seeing W's, but if you see a lot of W's, they kind of red flags come up, just to be aware of that. Also, a few years ago, California made a rule that students cannot take a course more than three times at a college, or a college in a district. So Woodland College is part of our district. So if you took college algebra 3 times and failed it or withdrew, or portion of both of those, then you wouldn't be able to take college algebra in the Yuba College district. So you'd have to go down to a different school to take that course. And that does happen. I've had students from Sierra, I've had students from SAC, so just be aware of that. If you are not coming to class, if I notice you've missed 3 classes or more than 3 classes, or you stop doing your work for a couple weeks, then I may withdraw you. But you shouldn't assume that your instructor is going to withdraw you. That's really your responsibility as a student. So it's possible if you stop coming that I won't withdraw you, or it's too late to withdraw you and you're going to be stuck in the course and you'll get an F. So things that we'll be going to cover in this course, and a lot of it, and again, you might have seen before, a lot of this course is graphing. So graphing polynomials, graphing rational equations, radicals, using shifts of graphs, for vertical, horizontal, reflection, symmetry, solving lots of different equations. So I'll let you read through this. So it's standard that we have to have these on our syllabus, our course objectives, and what we believe our students should be able to do when they leave this course. So I've already talked about homework on being on MyMathLab, but you're also going to be writing up your homework on paper, and you're going to be keep it all neat and organized in one spot is probably the best, so that you're not searching for it when I ask for it. So I may ask for you to upload certain sections to Canvas, your written work as an assignment. And I'm looking for that you're doing your homework, you're writing it up the correct way. You'll also be having end of the chapter quizzes on MyMathLab. So those are a little bit different. I'm not giving your class as many exams that I normally do. Normally I give 4 exams and a final. I'm only going to give 2 exams and a final just because of the way that we're doing things right now. So to make up for that and to help you stay up on the material and to make sure that you guys know it, there'll be an end of the chapter quiz. Then your end of the chapter quiz, I'll give you 2 chances. So if you take it and you didn't do very well and you want to go back in and take it, you can. And it will take the best of the 2 scores. That quiz, though, you want to make sure that when you get in to take that quiz, that you're getting in at a time that you can spend the whole time there. So like you need like an hour to take the quiz, then make sure that you have that hour, because if you leave, then you won't be able to get back into it. And you'll have to restart it all over. So we talked about participation in class exercises, Canvas assignments. This is going to be grouped as one of those categories. That's going to be worth 15% of your grade. I mentioned I am going to give you 2 in-class exams plus a final in class. And I normally don't allow notes. I don't allow notes. Once in a while, I'll give you a couple formulas, but usually not. I don't allow books, formula sheets, calculators. Normally don't allow a calculator. I know students kind of cringe on that, but I usually set up my exams that you don't need a calculator. I don't allow makeup exams, so in order to compensate for that, for some reason, you got really sick and you couldn't make the test or whatever, there's some reason you couldn't make it, I don't allow makeups, but I'll take your lowest score, which would be a missed exam, and replace it with what you get on the final exam. When you're coming in to take the test, and I'll tell you all about this, a couple of weeks before and keep reminding you how we're going to be doing it. You're going to come into class like this right now. I'll have on Canvas, we'll open up the document of the test. When class starts, I'll let you guys, you'll have your webcams on. I'll let you guys go print it out if you have a printer. If you don't have a printer, I'm okay with that. I understand. You would just use a blank sheet of paper, and hopefully the same problems I have on page 1, you can write them out and do them. Reasons why you have that syllabus assignment is to know how to do that. If you learn how logging,
Yep, internet's cutting out.
you'll go
We've
as
lost
a
you.
single PDF. Once it's done, then you will let me know that you've submitted it and you can log out. And we don't like that people are trying to cheat. Anyways, if you cheat, you'll get a 0. We're going to stand behind one another as a department. So we've told each other, if you think someone is cheating, then other instructors will look at it, verify, because we can tell when students are cheating. Verify that, and then we'll report it to the dean and then to the vice president of the college. And they'll decide what they want to do from there. But on that exam, you'll get a 0, and that is not an exam that you can replace with a final. The sad thing is that we spend a lot of time like, okay, how can we stop students from cheating? And then I feel bad because there's a majority of students don't cheat. And so, I don't know. Anyways, grading. Homework on MyMathLab, I'll take the average of all of those scores, and that will be the grade for that portion. And that's worth 15% of your grade at the end of the semester. Each chapter quiz on MyMathLab, that will also be 15% of your grade. I'll take those averages at the end of the semester. Your ICE, your in-class exercises, participation, that's worth 15% of your grade. All the assignments in there, the average, your exam 1 and exam 2. So altogether, that's 75% of your grade. And then the final, which is cumulative, so everything we've covered through the whole semester is 25% of that grade. If for some reason one of these scores, the lowest of one of these scores, is lower than the final exam, then that final exam will replace that lowest score. And so that means that your final actually is 40% of the grade at the end of the course. So here's the breakdown. If you get a 55 or below a 55, you will get an F in this class. You cannot, basically, if you're new to school, new to college, you're not new to school. Let me just slow down. Okay. I think that a lot of students are shocked coming to college and realizing that they can't just get by with not doing anything and just taking tests. That just doesn't work in college. You're really going to have to spend a lot of time outside of class to do your work. So basically, it's set up in colleges that every hour you're spending in class, we're expecting at least 2 hours outside of class that you're spending doing homework or studying. And if you're struggling in a course, like sometimes students come in with a weaker background in mathematics, you're going to have to be spending more time on that. I think that students that persevere and really work hard, even if they struggle, they tend to do better than those that know, or usually things come fast but don't know how to put an effort into it. Accommodations, if you have some sort of a learning disability or physical disability or some other needs, you need to talk to DSPS, make sure that you have all the accommodations on the paper that you need. Let me know, and then I'll be willing to work with you. So a little plug on that. I actually grew up with a learning disability, so I was one of those students that struggled, would watch my friends get A's that didn't do anything, and I'd be sitting there studying all the time. But I also knew that I could, and my parents were awesome. Basically said you can do anything you set your mind to. And so that's why I'm here today. And I got to be, got through and got my master's in mathematics. So and I didn't use my accommodations until I transferred to a university. So I wish someone had told me about, the different accommodations that these services at the schools have for you. And so you can have a lot of times extra time, like time and a half. So maybe you need that extra time. You don't process things as fast as other students. You can go in there and you can be taking it in a private room instead of inside the classroom. So you don't have those distractions of people getting up and turning in their exam or people moving around. I know that they have whiteboards in the room so you can write things out and then go back and process it. So there's things that they really help you with. So take advantage of those features if you get them. Tutoring, we have some wonderful tutoring centers on campus. So this semester, our Hard Math Cafe kind of like the Hard Rock Cafe, so don't get scared by the Hard Math Cafe. The Hard Math Cafe and our Tutoring Center have joined together so that they can be available via Zoom from 9 a.m. to 7 p.m. Monday through Thursday and 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. on Friday. So basically this is a drop-in basis. You can go in at any time during there. There'll be multiple tutors. They might put you in a different breakout room depending on the subject you're looking at, and they'll have multiple tutors to help you. You're welcome to go in there, work on your homework, and then once questions come up, you know, and let them know. But there's also another great feature that we offer at college for, I think it's all your courses, but I know for math, you're available 2 hours of tutoring a week free. There'll be on the Success Center online tutoring, and then you're going to request the tutoring. And when you request the tutoring, you're putting in the times that you're available, and they'll try to find the tutor to work during your times. You want to, again, do it now, because if you wait, then tutors already have their schedules and they might not be able to work with you and meet with you on your schedule. So it's better to sign up now, use it. If then you decide you don't need it, then you can get out of it. So many people that use that center or centers have found that it's just has helped them get through the courses. Great tutors, and then if you're a great student in my class and you get an A, then I will also put your name forward and tell Kui, who runs the Center for Math, or Riley, who runs the Hard Math Cafe, that I think that you would be a good tutor, and they'll contact you, and you can, if you like, become a tutor, get paid well, and keep up on your math skills. Be on campus, meet people. It's a win-win. Okay. So professionalism, I'm not going to go through that. I don't have as many problems as I have when I'm inside the classroom with some of the stuff. Success in the class, I'll let you go through that. And this is very tentative. This is what I kind of guessed what I would get through, but I have no clue. I kind of just look at it and go. Your class, I'm going to need to get through about 3 to 4 sections a week, which is a lot. The material in the beginning, I actually prefer if I can get through that faster, because that's all stuff that you've seen before, and I'd rather slow down on the material you haven't seen before. But I will try to, slow me down, ask questions if I'm going through lecture and you don't understand stuff. I think, and that is it. Just also to be aware of, these are also tentative times on when I think the exams are going to be, except for the cumulative final. You need to be there, and it's Thursday, December 17th, and it's during the same time our class is at, 8 a.m. to 9:50. So any questions?
Is there going to be any chances for extra credit?
So there's a couple of times that I'll allow extra credit through the semester, but all the extra credit, a lot of time, yeah. If I do allow extra credit, I don't allow you to exceed 2% of your grade. So it can only, maybe bump you up if you're borderline between a grade. Other questions?